Evening, a longtime friend, longtime skydiver, and longtime pilot for us, uh, Thomas Harvey, better known as Tommy, uh, passed away in an aircraft accident about um, 30 miles south of here. He was ferrying an airplane up for us from Sebastian that we were going to use to jump all this week. Unfortunately, and right now I have no idea what happened, but the plane crashed and he passed away in the accident. Um, Tommy actually been jumping here since 1973. He had about 1,800 jumps. He's been flying. He got his pilot's license in the late 60s. I want to say 68, but I might be wrong, or 69. He probably had over 9,000 hours of flying. In a particular plane he was flying, he had almost 3,000 hours flying that particular type of aircraft. So he's very experienced. He understood the business. Him and I have been friends for 39 years now. So it's been pretty hard on me and our whole Skydive family. We're a pretty close-knit group. And if you've seen the social media, there's been a huge outpouring of people from all over the world who've gotten to know him over the years. He was also a veteran. He served during the Vietnam War. He was a crew chief on a flight refueling plane. And then he went to the Air National Guard and worked in Jacksonville for almost 20 years with the Air National Guard. So really well-known guy and just wonderful person to be around.
What do you remember about him as a person?
He always was telling a joke. He should have, his second life, he'd probably come back as a stand-up comedian. If you were around him more than 10 minutes, you heard at least one or two jokes. He was always smiling and laughing, and he always lit up the room. And I want to miss him dearly. It's tough.
Do you have any stories or maybe even like stories here at Skydive Palatka that stand out to you with Tommy?
Yeah. And this story, it's an old story. So one day he wanted to come out here and jump, and he was riding his motorcycle. So he was scared his parachute was going to open on the way out here. So he stuck a fountain pen in where it opens to make sure it didn't open on the car, on the motorcycle. So he drives his motorcycle out here. He forgets about the pin, jumps on the airplane, and goes to open, and nothing happened. And then that's when he realized, oh, I forgot about the pin. He pulled his reserve and everything was fine. But it's one of the stories that is funny, and we like to rag him about it. And he laughs about it now, but it was it's always a great story to hear.
You know, and we know he's 75 years old. It's
Mm-hmm.
crazy to think that a man that age is flying and jumping out of planes. Is this like, would you say like his form of retirement? Like it looks like it's a sport that's a lot of fun.
You wouldn't, if you met him, you wouldn't think he was 75 years old. I mean, he just was always so full of energy and laughing so much that, yeah, I mean, I look at him as a brother, not, I mean, he's old enough to be my father, and but he wasn't like that. And part of that is what's hard, you know. I guess he was like my favorite uncle, and yeah, it's hard.